Hi, welcome. This is Elektor. In this video we will have a look at the new Arduino IDE version 2.0.0 that was released last week, mid-September 2022. It has taken quite a while for the Arduino team to come to an official release of their new IDE. Already in March 2021, more than 1.5 years ago, I had a look at the Beta 3 release of the IDE. At the time it didn't work very well for me as I encountered quite a lot of problems. The IDE v2 is now the official IDE. The 1.8 versions are from now on legacy versions. This means that the Arduino team must be pretty confident about the new IDE. Version 2 of the IDE looks quite similar to version v1.8. Its main differences seem to be its new looks with a menu bar on the side, a debug interface, autocomplete, and better search functions. Also, boards are detected automatically. Also, different IDE windows can have different boards without interfering with each other. Okay, so let's compare the new IDE version 2.0.0 side by side with the now legacy IDE version 1.8.19. The menus feature more or less the same options as before. Some things have disappeared and other features have popped up. The editor window offers more space as the output window can now be closed. The search function is much better now and even got a button in the left menu bar. A right mouse button click in the editor window no longer simply opens the edit menu, but now proposes useful search functions as well. Hovering over a function or variable brings up its definition, which is very helpful for figuring out what type it is and how to pass arguments. Autocompletion is practical, especially when using a custom library that you don't know how to use. Unfortunately, it is still not possible to quickly open a library to see what is inside and how to use it. It would be nice to have an open file option when you do a right click on a header file name. A way around this is by opening a library example. Then you can use the right mouse button on a function and open its definition, which usually resides in the header file. The serial plotter now has its own button and looks a bit nicer. It also has a stop button, a very useful feature. In the serial monitor, this option is called auto scroll. Also new is that the serial plotter and monitor can be opened at the same time to have two different views on serial data. However, the serial monitor appears to have lost its copy function, making it less useful than before. The new IDE is supposed to be faster and there seems to be things going on in the background to speed up compilation, as indicated by short messages on the left in the status bar while you edit a sketch. The left menu bar is a bit of a mystery to me. First of all, I don't really understand why these buttons aren't in the top menu bar, as there is plenty of space left. Second, I don't understand the choice of these buttons. File open and search I can understand, but why do the boards and library manager need buttons? I hardly ever need the boards manager. Furthermore, the new IDE's board auto detect functions opens it for you if you connect a board that you didn't use before, making the button even less important. The library manager is used a bit more often, but once you have installed all your favorite libraries, you hardly ever need it again. And then the debug button. The debug button opens a window where you can set several options. Editing a debug configuration is comfortable with a kind of IntelliSense and autocompletion. But why does this editor have IntelliSense while the main code editor doesn't? Now that would be a useful feature. Unfortunately, I do not have a board that is supported by this debug interface. It only works with SAMD based boards and I don't have any of these. Worse, if you read the fine print, you will see that the only board supported without needing a debug pod is the Arduino Zero. I didn't expect the Uno to be compatible, but the Nano RP2040 Connect is not supported either, even though it is based on ARM's Mbed, which supports debugging. My Portenta boards, which are targeted at professional users, aren't supported either. Now how can that be? To me, one of the best features of the now legacy IDE was its portable folder. When you created an empty folder named Portable next to the Arduino executable, the IDE would put everything in there instead of somewhere in a hidden folder. As the portable folder held everything from board packages and preferences to libraries and sketchbook folders, it allowed the IDE to run from a USB stick. It made it also very easy to back up or share projects, or to have multiple non-interfering Arduino installations. If you needed a clean installation, you could simply empty the portable folder or rename it and create a new one. Unfortunately, it seems that this feature was not ported to the new IDE. The new Arduino IDE v2.0.0 is very similar to the now legacy IDE v1.8. Compared to the Beta 3 version that I reviewed 1.5 years ago, it has been simplified a lot. Compared to version 1.8, the main differences are a new look with a menu bar on the side, a debug interface, autocomplete and more sophisticated search functions. Also, boards are detected automatically. The portable folder feature of version 1.8 has not been ported to version 2.0, which for me is a great loss. The debug interface is, of course, an important new thing, but it only works with SIMD-based boards, and there are not many of these. Even though I have a nice collection of Arduino boards, including Portenta H7 and X8 boards, not a single one of them seems to support debugging. This makes one wonder why debugging was built into the IDE, as it will only be useful to a few users. Or maybe can we expect debuggable Arduino boards in the future?